Vice President Harris is heading to Atlanta today for her fifth state visit since announcing her candidacy a few months ago. This comes ahead of another visit to Georgia with former President Barack Obama next week. The swing state is shattering records for early voting turnout. There's now well over 800,000 ballots cast after a historic 306,000 were cast on the first day of early balloting. Here to discuss is former Georgia Congressman Doug Collins. Doug, great to see you this morning. So I seem to remember it was just a couple of years ago, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Democrats were all assuring us that the reforms in Georgia were Jim Crow 2.0. Well, it doesn't seem to have worked out that way.
No, it really hasn't, and that's what they've been saying down here for about 8 or 9 years. Is we've tightened up our election procedures, going to photo IDs, the things that actually matter. And actually, what we saw was the very people they said would not show up were the very ones that were showing the increase. We saw it in senior adult population, we saw it in minority population, and by the way, we're now over 1 million early votes in the first week alone. That's almost 20% of the total vote in Georgia has come in the first week. And then the breakdown of that vote has been very encouraging for Republicans as well. In this week. So it's been a good week in Georgia.
So I'm always very skeptical of polls, but one of the latest Wall Street Journal polls have them basically neck and neck, Trump 45, Harris 46. Where do you think the state of play is right now?
I think Donald Trump is up in the state of Georgia, probably a couple of 3 points. The momentum is on his side. We're seeing that in the early vote turnout. Normally, early vote turnout in the state of Georgia will favor the Democrats, typically 10, 15, even 20 points in that first week. And this week, it's almost even. I mean, we're actually Republicans are ahead. That's something we've not seen before. But there's another aspect to that, and we're seeing those low propensity voters, those voters that we can't track because we don't register by party here. So you have to look at previous how they voted, what primaries they voted in and looked at. We've got about 10% of that million number that has come in as these low propensity voters. I don't see the excitement for Harris in the state of Georgia. I do see it for Donald Trump, and we saw this in 2016. So there's a long way to go, but there's some very encouraging numbers this first week.
So obviously the Harris campaign is bringing out the big guns, bringing Barack Obama to the state later this week for their first joint campaign appearance. Is that going to make a difference?
It shows me the desperation in what they have. It shows that they're trying to actually go to their base, and they're not trying to expand at all. I mean, we've seen this they sent Bill Clinton in last week, and that was a total train wreck in South Georgia, especially when it came to immigration. I mean, it just basically he just admitted, yep, the Harris administration had opened the border, and Laken Riley down here was dead because of it. So I mean, that was bad. So bringing in Barack Obama or these others is simply trying to get their base up because they see their African American support is slipping, especially African American males.
Yeah, a scandal is always when a politician accidentally tells the truth. Real quick, we got to go, but are you concerned at all about, obviously Northwest Georgia got hit by Hurricane Helene. Are you concerned at all about those areas getting out to vote?
Yeah, no, the hurricane area in Southeast, we're seeing numbers coming in and people are voting down there. Yeah, we were always concerned about turnout, but right now we're seeing good things. The election boards, the local election boards and officials have done a good job. Brian Kemp on down have helped make sure that happens. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that vote comes out.
Great stuff. Thank you, Doug Collins.
Hey, it's always good to be with y'all. Take care.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.